G'day, ZiggyD here with another Path of Exile guide. In this video I'm going to go through how you should interact with each of the different types of Strongboxes to maximize your returns. For some of these Strongboxes there are multiple valid strategies, and I'll attempt to go through each of those strategies, but if you have a different strategy that has worked well for you, then let me know in the comments below. Strategy, I'm just going to say that one more time. First up, for new PoE players, Strongboxes are these larger named chests originally introduced in the Ambush League. When you click on one, it will spawn at least 3 packs of monsters, which you must first kill in order to open the box. There are different kinds of Strongboxes that will drop different types of loot, and some can be very rewarding. Like many items in PoE, they can be crafted with different magical affixes that increase the challenge and sometimes reward of the box. Strongbox prefixes always roll added challenge mods from the list on the left, and Strongbox suffixes always roll extra reward mods from the list on the right. That said, added monsters from the left list is a reward in itself, and that plays into our crafting strategies. Now, Strongboxes can also be quite dangerous. In particular, they can freeze you, detonate the corpses around the box, stealing large amounts of damage, cast a large high damage ice nova, and create chaos explosions that can kill you. It's never a bad idea to identify a rare Strongbox with a Scroll of Wisdom to look for any nasty combos of mods to avoid. Additionally, having a freeze immune flask and a movement skill to get out of the way will increase your safety margin a great deal. Basic Strongboxes include Strongbox, Ornate Strongbox, and Large Strongbox. The latter two have increased quantity and rarity. These Strongboxes will all drop generic loot, which is anything that can normally drop in that zone. While leveling, you should just open these as they are. In endgame maps, it's a good idea to use an Orb of Transmute and an Orb of Augmentation on these for a chance of adding extra monsters to kill for more XP and loot, and for the occasional added drops like silver coins and extra socketed gear. It's rarely worth using alchemy orbs or alterations to improve the modifiers on these boxes, as the loot they drop is too broad and often quite bad. Sometimes you may want to use an Orb of Alchemy on white generic Strongboxes, but in very high tier maps, say tier 15 and 16. It may also be worth alching in maps that have valuable additional drops, like steel rings in the Abyss map. This strategy of alching generic Strongbox will be more worth it in challenging leagues with less plentiful map drops. Blacksmith Strongboxes only drop weapons and are pretty low value, transmute and augment only. Jewelers Strongboxes drop jewelry and jewels and are a bit more valuable. In high level maps and in maps that drop crystal belts, opal rings, and steel rings, it's worth using an Orb of Alchemy on these for a chance at additional drops and additional rare jewelry. Otherwise, transmute and augment these for some additional returns. Gemcutter lockboxes drop a skill and support gems. Generally these have low value potential, but are worth transmute and augment for a chance at quality or leveled gems. In the very first few days of a brand new league, it may be worth using alterations to try and get gem quality, contain gens have additional experience, and additional item drops, as some gens can fetch a decent price in these early days. Armorer's lockboxes drop armor and are generally low value. You can transmute augment these and open. However, there is an alternate strategy that has worked very well for me in the past. In higher level maps and early in a league, it can be worth using an alchemy on these. If the box rolls high additional items or some combination of additional items and contains mirrored items, then you can use a Vaal orb on the box. Using a Vaal orb on a Strongbox Vaals everything inside the box. Doing this has a decent chance of producing 5 or 6 links. Here's an example of a pair of mirrored 6-link body armors I got from doing just that, quite a good return. If you get 6 links, they are worth at least a Divine Orb if you sell them to a vendor, which could be something like 5 to 10 chaos in value. And these sorts of armors could also sell to other players for many times that. Another alternative strategy for armor as lockboxes is to use a Chance Orb on them. This has a chance of producing the unique version of the box, Calm's Cash, which has a potential of dropping Calm's Heart unique, which is very high value. Artisan Strongboxes drop currency that adds additional quality to items, like Armorer's Scraps, Blacksmith Whetstones, and Gemcutter's Prisms. Transmute and augment for additional returns only. They don't drop valuable enough loot to really invest into. Arcanist Strongboxes, on the other hand, drop real currency. Transmutes, exalts, alchemies, chaos, any of that. These are worth transmuting and augmenting, and then using alterations until you get additional items, either flat added items or a percentage increased items. Some people keep alting until they get 8 additional items on these, but this is a bad idea, as each alteration you spend lowers the profit you make from the box. Don't be afraid to settle for 4 additional items to maximize your returns. Sometimes you'll get several chaos or more, and sometimes you'll only get a few alchs, but if your investment is low, it's all good profit. Cartographer Strongboxes drop maps. The value of a cartographer box varies greatly, and it depends a lot on how your atlas is constructed and what tier map they appear in. This is because the map drops from cartographer boxes are restricted in the same way that regular map drops are. Refer to the PoE wiki for more info. In a low tier map with a fledgling atlas, just transmute and augment and open. In higher tier maps with a solid atlas, you may alterate for additional items or plus level to items within this box for higher tier maps. In very good maps with a very good atlas, in a league that has difficult map sustain, then you may even alchemy and chaos orb until you get a combination of positive affixes like additional items and plus levels. Do note that the mods on cartographer boxes are much more restricted than on regular boxes. You can't get as many plus levels and you can't get as many additional items. And finally, the holy grail of Strongboxes are the Diviner's Strongboxes. These drop divination cards and have extremely high value potential. Some divination cards are worth multiple exalts, and many will provide some solid currency or item returns. If the Diviner's box is blue, use an Orb of Scouring to make it white, and then use an Alchemy to make it rare. From here on, you're looking for at least 2 positive modifiers that add additional divination card drops. You'll be using Chaos Orbs or Scour and Alchemies, whatever's cheaper, to do this. Keep re-rolling the rare box until you get some combination of at least 2 of these mods. 3 mods is extremely rare, but will sometimes happen. Always open one with 3 mods of additional divination cards. If you're lucky, this will happen. Look at my attack right there. Well, there's 5 chaos, not too bad. 10 chisels. Got some of a corrupted drill neck, that's kind of fun. Do note that additional levels of items contained within this box is a troll mod on Diviners and doesn't actually do anything. Levels have no bearing on divination cards. Hopefully this has been helpful. Strongboxes are very fun and can be super rewarding. In the long run, employing strategies like this is not really even a gamble because you're tailing your investment to the expected returns and boosting that return in an economically smart way. If you guys have any other successful strategies not mentioned here, please consider sharing them in the comments below so that we can all learn. That's it for now, I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.